In this bulletin, Rahman found guilty. Hundreds turn up for vaccination. And accessing Braille paper proves challenging.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Ateda Lendua.
Canadian national Joshua Aziz Rahman has been found guilty of unlawful possession of illicit drugs. The 26-year-old was convicted of one count of unlawful possession of illicit drugs after a lengthy judgment in the Suva High Court today. Rahman had in his possession 39 bars of cocaine weighing 39.5 kilograms. The bars were recovered in February 2019 when police raided Rahman's home in the Mbatinasinu and have an estimated street value of $31 million. During the trial, Rahman had said he was not aware of the drugs in the house. However, the High Court judge said that Rahman had been staying at the Dombati house since October 2017 and had control over the premises. He also said Rahman may not have been directly involved in his father's business, but he knew a lot about it. The matter has been adjourned to next Thursday for sentence hearing. An overwhelming number of people have turned up at the Vodafone Arena today and are determined to get their first jab of the COVID-19 vaccine. Ministry for Health head of COVID-19 Task Force, Dr. Rachel Devi, says some came all the way from Nosori and Cornivia to be vaccinated. The supply of vaccine at their nearest center have run out. Dr. Devi says they will continue to vaccinate Fijians until the current batch finishes and others will have to wait for the next shipment. Hundreds are still lining up outside the Vodafone Arena this hour. Koroi Tandalala is live now at Vodafone Arena. Koroi, is it likely that everyone waiting will be vaccinated?
As you can see, the line seems to have gotten a little bit longer now compared to an hour or two ago when we were here earlier and showcasing the enthusiasm from Fijians trying to get their first jab today and get it over with. However, we spoke to the Chief Medical Advisor for the Ministry of Health earlier, Dr. Chemesa Tunravu, and he confirmed that they are resorting to a numerical system now where they're issuing numbers to the people lining up according to the number of available vials of AstraZeneca vaccine that is available right now. Now, the sad part is once the number has reached its maximum capacity, they will have to cut off the line completely so that the rest of the other people who did not receive any number, they will have to wait for the next batch to arrive for them to get vaccinated. Atela.
Thank you very much, Koroi. Former SEDELPA leader Sitiveni Rambuka is hoping to submit an application to register a political party while things are, as he describes it, steady. Rambuka says when it comes to legislative processes, there is nothing stopping the government from continuing to perfect the Electoral Act. He adds this could mean some more amendments as he tries to form a political party, adding he needs to be prepared. Rambuka also says his eventual application for a proposed political party will be determined by the legislation in force.
So we have to do it now that it's a bit steady. Things are steady at the moment. The last amendment just gone through. Now is the time for us to use that last state and lodge our application.
Maersk Nandi, a cargo vessel owned by one of the world's largest logistics companies, berthed at the Suva port yesterday. Maersk vessels are returning to Fiji after a lapse of 7 years. Represented by Shipping Services Fiji Limited, Maersk will operate 2 cargo ships between Suva, Lautoka and the 5 ports in New Zealand. Each vessel has a capacity of 2,520-foot containers. Shipping Services Managing Director Bernard Hong Tai says the Maersk Nandi is symbolic.
The Maersk Nandi is the first vessel that Maersk have brought into Fiji that actually has the name of a place or a vonua in Fiji. And for us, that's affirmation that Maersk holds Fiji as an important place in the Pacific for trade. Fiji is, in the Pacific, is one of the few island countries that has both a good volume of import and export cargo.
Over 40 young people who participated in the International Union for Conservation of Nature Global Summit have been urged to think globally and act locally. Regional Program Coordinator Andrew Foran says there have been several Talanoa sessions across the country and the region with participants joining virtually. Foran adds the input was overwhelming and these young climate advocates have the passion and the drive to conserve our environment. He also says the sessions have strengthened their approach in the fight against climate change using traditional knowledge.
Fiji has hit on a winning formula where they use a nature-based solution in their seawalls, where they're planting vetiver grass behind the seawalls, they're using local boulders, and they're putting mangroves in front of it. So it's a mix of that traditional hard infrastructure plus with the natural infrastructure.
Accessing Braille paper used in blind schools is a challenge. United Blind Persons of Fiji chairperson Rajneel Prasad says most of the Braille paper is expensive and not produced locally. He says the paper is bought from overseas to help the virtually impaired in their studies.
The Braille papers are not found locally. These are basically imported from either New Zealand or Canada. We normally buy it from New Zealand or Canada. This is basically really help these students to better their education.
Up ahead, former reps help athletes. And stage set for schools rugby league finals. Former Coca-Cola Games competitors will be present at this year's meet to help athletes prepare for events, give pointers and share experiences. There is less than a week until the much-anticipated games, where 2,500 athletes are expected to participate in the three-day event. Fiji Secondary Schools Athletics Association Secretary Wuli Wanga says this is always good for the development of younger athletes. He adds this initiative will also educate students on the basics of athletics competitions.
The improvement in schools now probably due to the fact that there are a lot of coaches in Athletics Fiji do go out to schools and coach. And on the day, during 3 days of competition, they're going to be there supporting not only their former schools, but supporting those athletes where they are coaching.
The Fiji Secondary Schools Rugby League Grand Final is shaping to be one of the best in the competition's history. 3 schools will feature in the 3 finals at Suva's ANZ Stadium tomorrow. Ratu Kandabulewu School, Ba Provincial Freebird Institute and Nasinu Secondary School will battle in the under 15, 17 and under 19 finals. The sports governing body is pleased with how far Schools Rugby League has come.
The game plans, the amount of errors they seem reduced, and particularly how the players, the players' knowledge in the rules of the game and making sure that they're playing to the maximum advantage when they have the ball in hand. So those are some of the general overall feedbacks that we've had, particularly during the semi-final matches.
Our generally fine weather is expected to continue into tomorrow. Scattered showers can be expected along eastern shores and in the interior of the larger islands. Sunday looks too good. That's FBC News Now. Be sure to join us for the 1-hour major bulletin at 7 p.m. And don't forget, download the FBC app for the latest in news and sports, as well as live radio broadcasts from all our 6 radio stations. You have a good afternoon.